are.
I'm drinking tea.
Yeah, I've got my tea.
I don't think you realize I'm drinking tea. I thought you'd make a bigger deal of me drinking tea.
I mean, after all, next to water, it's the beverage that's consumed the most in the world. Think about that, coffee drinker. So what are you up to today?
I was just gonna clean the studio.
Well, that's always good. That's always good.
Today I want to tackle this mess and pick a main camera and sell the rest. How do you pick one camera body when you have like 7? Also, that was the first time ever making tea on this channel. Was it as weird for you as it was for me? Now you might be asking yourself, Peter, why are you taking apart the entire office? You just showed us the entire office tour. Everything looked great. Like, what are you doing? There's just too much stuff. It's getting in the way. Simple as that. And not having everything just ready to go at a moment's notice, sit down, flip on some switches and start recording, which sounds good when you think about it, but it's making me a little bit lazy, a little bit complacent. Hot damn. Next video is like, getting rid of the studio. Everything must go. It escalates fast. Hey buddy, what are you doing today? Yeah, remember those shelves I put up? Or you put up a few weeks ago? Yeah, I just took them down and I figured you could patch the walls and I could try to make it look cinematic. Jeff, he's like, what the hell's wrong with you? I think I've just made more of a mess. It's these moments that decide if you're productive or you give up. Okay, so now that we have all of these camera bodies collected and in one place, I think it's time to sit down and go through which ones are worth keeping, which ones I use, which ones I don't, what I'm gonna sell, and don't mind if I just set these down because this is a disaster, most certainly waiting to happen. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 camera bodies in front of me and a 9th recording this, and we have number 10 at Matty Hapoya's office. 2 Canon R5s, the other is recording, 2 Canon R6, got a 1DX Mark II, this is not the Mark III, I never ended up upgrading to the Mark III. We have a Canon C70, we have my Canon EOS R, C500, red Monstro. So, let's put all of these off frame and I will do them one at a time and we will decipher which cameras stay and which cameras go. Based off this list, in the comments below, let me know what you think you would keep if you could only have 2. Everyone's gonna say the red for sure. Let's start with the EOS R. This is a great camera. I used it for a long time, probably a year and a half, maybe a little more, but I really like this camera. The R5 solves a lot of what I didn't like about this camera, albeit the R5 is still not perfect for me. It's better than this was, so I think I could say this one goes. That's in the 2-cell pile. Should I turn a light on in there? Would it look better if I... What if we turn these lights on? Oh, that's great too. Why didn't I do that earlier? Oh, fantastic. Okay, moving on to camera number 2, the 1DX Mark II. I think it stays. It's so sentimental. I've shot everything with this. And even if it's something that I don't use, I feel like it's something that I want to come back to and just use every now and again. I know that's not the reason it should stay. I think it's gonna go. Yeah, I gotta fight this. I don't use it. I have a trophy 1DX. You guys saw it in the studio tour. I don't need another one in case I go back to it. That one hurt me. That one hurt the soul. Okay, extra EOS R5. I think it goes. I don't feel like I want 2 of the exact duplicate cameras because I'd rather have 2 bodies that do different things. So this goes. R6. times 2. One stays and one goes. I don't need 2 of them. Again, I don't want things in excess. I think that's how you get into having way too much stuff, when you have multiples of anything. And that again goes across all spectrums of stuff. If you are big into pencil crayons, you don't need 100 sets of pencil crayons. That was a really stupid example. I apologize. You guys understand what I'm saying. So I think the R6 goes into the stay pile. C70. This is a sweet camera. I'm going to make a video about this. I haven't gotten around to it yet, okay? Stop asking. I'm going to do it. Don't worry. I got you. This is a great podcast camera. I think Maddie and I want to switch the Maddie and Pete show over to C70s just because they're smaller and easier, and it would be great to color match them all. As far as keeping it in my personal collection, I think my answer is no, based off it being Super 35 and the C500 being full frame. So this goes to the no pile. Everything is just getting axed. Okay, so that kind of gave away what my thoughts are in the C500. I'm gonna say the C500 stays. This thing is a beast of a camera, built-in NDs, just like the C70 does, but it's full frame. I feel like if I wasn't gonna shoot red and I wanted to do some documentary work, this would most certainly destroy the job for me. I would have no problems with this. I would not feel for any moment that I couldn't do what I needed to get done with this camera. Although I will say, one of the things that I most definitely do not like about these cinema cameras is this swivel screen design thing. It just bothers me. Okay, I don't like it. The C70 has a normal screen, flips out on the back. I much prefer that. So we have C500 and R6 in the stay pile. That brings us to the Monstro. Does the Monstro stay? Does the Monstro go? This is a camera that I particularly want to save for several projects that, one, I have not finished, being Angels and Airwaves. I've filmed the majority of that on red. There's a little bit shot on the C200 Mark II, but for the most part, it's been done on Gemini, Dragon, and Monstro. So I'd like to keep that whole project within the red family, so when it gets sent off for coloring, I just feel like it's gonna match a lot better. It's gonna be a lot easier for the colors to work with the same camera profiles for the most part. After I'm done these projects, after they are all finished, I think this moves to the sell pile. I'm just feeling lately that I want to achieve the same level of high production with the smallest possible package. That way I can go anywhere in the world and do what I do best without the burden of multiple flight cases and pelicans and different accessories that do different things. And you really got to build them out and work with the team to use them. And you can't beat that. When you have a crew and a first AC and second AC and they are building your camera package for you, and there are Steadicam operators, and it's a well-oiled working machine, that is peak filmmaking, and I love that. I love it so much. But I feel like I could also hire a DP or someone that has a red, where I could focus more on directing and telling stories and still bring along my smaller cameras and get a really unique perspective without having to haul this stuff around. So I think once my projects are done that I have not finished yet with the Monstro, I think this moves to the sell pile. So that leaves us with a single R5, an R6, and a C500 Mark II. And that is still, for me, that is a killer combo. This is a hard process. I enjoy it, but I don't like it at all. Here's the moral of the... You don't need all of the gear to do the job, to tell the story, to get out there and actually use your equipment. Now this has in recent years even become a little bit of a cringy topic. Gear doesn't matter, gear does matter, and you see all these videos. I'm guilty of making those clickbait titles as well and giving my thoughts on the matter. But take it from someone that literally has all the gear. I use very little of it to do what I love to do. Just because I'm a creator and I tell you a product is good does not mean you should buy it. If that product is good and it meets your needs and it fills some sort of criteria for work that you need to get done, then at that point it's something worth considering. So I can tell you from like learning and shooting with stuff over the past few years with literally every piece of gear at my fingertips, I use 1/10 of that gear. So does the other 9 out of 10 pieces of equipment matter to me? Not really, but they might matter to someone else. That's why I'm doing this gear purge, because it's just not stuff that's important to me. So does gear matter? Does gear not matter? I don't know. I don't care. I don't really, like, it doesn't Let's ask better questions. Why am I on a table? Like, that's a good one. Ugh. All right, let's call that part 2 of the purge, the studio purge, in an effort to feel more creatively free and get this equipment into the hands of people that could really use it more than it's being used right now. Tell me if you like this video. Should we do part 3? Like, there's more gear to go through. I don't want you to get bored. I hope you like watching this. That's all I have for today. So hit the like button, subscribe, do the things, do whatever you want. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Whoa. I was on here with my little girl the other day, and she was just fearless, just running across this thing. Daddy, let's go in the hammock. There's a massive trust factor involved with that.